Yeah, that's great.
Good evening, everybody. Great to see everybody. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of our classmates, spouses, partners, and guests. Thank you all for making the effort to be here. I don't know about you, but 50 years got here a little more quickly than I expected. On behalf of our class and everyone here tonight, I'd like to thank the reunion committee for all the time, thought, and effort they put into the entire reunion weekend, giving us the opportunity to renew the friendships we made in high school and learn about our classmates' experiences over the past 50 years. As the saying goes, old friends are the best friends. The committee began its work about 2 years ago, meeting at least monthly, locating classmates, planning the events, making the arrangements, and all the countless other little touches and details that it takes to create a weekend like this. We wouldn't be here tonight without the efforts and the kind and generous spirit of Paul Madigan, who passed away earlier this year. Paul kept us in touch through the years and kept our flame alive. I would like all the members of the reunion committee to come to the podium, please. Let me introduce some members of the reunion committee. Luann Thomas Hawk. Natalie Knox. Mary Vandermeer Lauer. Pat Ferguson Lay. Mary Ehrenberg Radachansky. Pat Gagliano Runje. Patty St. Joseph Spindler. Sharon Harling Vandermeer. And our chairman, Monica DeBartolo Green, who grabbed the baton after Paul's passing and just ran beautifully with it. We thank all of you for your kindness and hard work in making this great weekend for us. Our terrific finance chairman, Natalie Knox, would like to say a few words.
Monica, I'd like to present to you a gift for keeping us all in line, scheduling all our meetings, and really kind of herding all the cats, if you will. And you have brought this reunion to fruition, and without you, it couldn't have happened.
Absolutely. My honor. It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
We remember not just the subjects and sports they taught us, but more importantly, their encouragement and guidance, and the motivation, sportsmanship, and teamwork they instilled in us, not just by their words, but by their example. We had great teachers and coaches at Crown, and 4 of them have been kind enough to join us tonight. Please let me introduce them. Kathy Lovins taught child development, parenting, and a senior girls food class as part of the home ec department at Crown from 1970 to 1975. Kathy was a pioneer who had a preschool in her child development classroom. The administration liked her idea so much that they used it to help design a child study center near Parkview School where parents and students could observe the preschoolers. Kathy took time away from teaching to raise her family and start a successful home business that I understand that you just were winding up recently, Kathy. But she wasn't done. She returned at the age of 60 to teach home ec for 14 more years at Belvedere North High School. Thank you, Kathy, for joining us tonight and for all you did for our class and your other classes at Crown and Belvedere North. Kaz Kowalski was a stalwart in District 300 who did double duty as a teacher and a coach. Kaz taught junior and senior math at Crown and coached a variety of sports including baseball, football, golf, and softball. He began his career at Lakewood Middle School in 1960. Kaz coached and taught at Crown from 1967 to 1976. He then finished his career teaching and coaching at Jacobs from 1976 to 1993. Kaz had the opportunity to coach all 3 of his daughters on the Jacobs softball team and his son on the Jacobs golf team. His daughter Kathy was recently inducted into the Jacobs Athletic Hall of Fame. And Kaz was inducted into the Illinois State High School Coaching Hall of Fame in 1995 for his achievements in coaching boys golf. Thank you, Kaz, for joining us tonight and for the teaching and coaching you gave our class and other student athletes throughout your career. Bill Margison and his wife Maggie are here tonight. Bill taught American history, and he did it in a unique and dynamic way. He blended history with American culture, which gave you context, but also made it tremendously interesting and fun. Bill taught at Crown from 1968 to 1972. But Bill was sort of a prodigy, actually. He was promoted to Assistant Superintendent of District 300 from 1972 to 1978, and then went into private business. In 1975, Bill became the youngest person at that time to win Educator of the Year in the state of Illinois. Maggie, I understand congratulations are in order for you. I understand you recently retired, had a 48-year degree as a registered nurse, the last 27 of which were at District 300. Bill and Maggie haven't given up teaching though, folks. They host a pub trivia quiz night Thursday nights at Diamond Gyms in East Country. It's a flat-out class and I really recommend it. Thank you, Bill and Maggie, for joining us tonight and for instilling in all of us the joy of learning. In the spirit of the Margison Pub Quiz, I'm going to toss out a nice little local trivia question for you tonight. It's actually more of a riddle. What is the difference between West Dundee and East Dundee when it comes to the number of churches and number of taverns in each of those towns? Think it over, folks, and after the class toast, we'll give you the answer. Finally, we would like to welcome Jim Wilbrand and his wife, Sue. I cannot think of anyone who has had a greater impact at Irving Crown High School, Dundee High School, and Dundee Crown High School as a teacher, a coach, and as an administrator is Jim Wilbrand. Jim began at Lakewood 1 year after CAS in 1961. He coached at Crown when it opened, and in fact, was that in 1964? 65, and began teaching there in 1967. During our high school years, Jim was the head football coach, the athletic director, and taught physical education. Jim Wilbrand and Greg True were instrumental in building a strong foundation for the Crown athletic program, with outstanding coaches including Jim, Kaz, Buck Sayer coaching basketball, Tom Miller coaching track and field and cross country, Al Zinke coaching wrestling. Jim transferred from Crown to Dundee in 1976 to be Dean of Students. He returned to Crown in 1983 and was Dean of Students when Dundee Crown opened in 1985. Jim concluded his career as principal at Dundee Crown from 1987 to 1994. Our class would also like to recognize Jim tonight for another accomplishment. Jim and his brother Don were members of the greatest high school sports team in Illinois history, the 1952 Hebron High School State Basketball Championship. This is the 70th anniversary of that great team. Currently, the high school basketball tournament in Illinois is split into 4 divisions, each based on enrollment, crowning 4 separate state champs. In 1952, all high school teams competed against each other in one tournament to crown one state champion. When the 1952 Hebron team won the state title in overtime against perennial powerhouse Quincy, Hebron had 98 students in the entire school. Quincy High School had over 1,000 students in the high school, which was 300 more than the entire population of the town of Hebron. And other city schools like Lane Tech, or big suburban schools like Evanston, even back then had 4,000 to 5,000 students. Jim, thank you for joining us tonight and for everything you've done for the students and athletes at Crown, Dundee, and Dundee Crown, and for the thrills and the pride the 52 Hebron team brought to our area and the entire state. Looking around the room, I saw Al Drucke earlier. Al, I have a hunch that your California winery is the early frontrunner for the 55-year destination reunion. I also noted, Al, that you served in the Army as an officer for 12 years after graduation and were called back to active duty in 1991 and again in 2011. Al, on behalf of our class, I want to thank you and the following classmates of ours who have served our country in the armed forces. Tony Dewar, Rich Dukes, Pat Ferguson, Kathy Grinnells, Kevin Harris, Mike Hickenbottom, Roger Letourneau, Bill Iracos, Paul Madigan, Tim McMahon, John Mucci, Mike Parr, Frank Paz, Jim Perry, Jim Rapp, Frank Simon, and Wayne Stemple. Thank them so much for their service. When I studied the roster, it seemed pretty clear that we had our fair share of romance in our class. When you see all the great couples our class produced. Chuck and Cheryl Scardato, Rick and Sue Nance, Bob and Barb Stewart, Doug and Jane Broderdorf, Bob and Carol Van Ness, and Larry and Madeline Sears. When I dug into the list a little more though, gang, I noticed a little pattern. There was some poaching going on. Randy Imhoff from the class of 61 poached Tony Nyman for our class. But then Jeff Curran got even for us by poaching Sandy Van Winkle from the class of 73. But there was a more sinister type of poaching going on. Dundee guys poaching our Crown women. I didn't like it. Watts, I'm talking to you now. Bob Wozniak and Debbie Shane. All is fair in love and war, was, right? Yeah. I saw Walt Jones here tonight.
He went to Lakewood.
Great to see Walt. Walt was a very accomplished musician and songwriter in high school, performing at many local venues. One of Walt's most popular songs was the Popcorn Song that was on the Village Squire menu for years. Walt, I think before the night's out, I think we're going to have you up here to do a little rendition for us. And now that I think about it, since we're all together, let's start the petition drive tonight to get that song back on the Squire menu where it belongs. How lucky were we to go to school at the time we did in the Fox River Valley? Think of all the great places. The Meadowdale Shopping Center with the ice rink at the south end in the Winter Garden Arcade. The Algonquin and Carpentersville dams. The little bridge that goes over the river between Old Carpentersville and Dundee that goes up to the old District 300 offices. The Meadowdale Raceway. One of the first McDonald's, I think, in the country, or at least in Illinois. The Polar Dome. The Dundale Drive-In and the Dundee Main Street Theater. Speaking of the Dundee Main Street Theater, The Godfather played there 50 years ago, opening our last semester senior year. A buddy of mine told me later in life, though, the real importance of The Godfather. He told me that from the man's perspective in life, if you get stumped and you don't know what to say, there's a line for every life situation in two movies, The Godfather and Animal House. Those are our go-tos. Finally, there was one thing you had to do every day to make it complete, and that was say hello to Mrs. Socrates in the cafeteria. She always had a kind word for you. With that, folks, I'd like to offer the first toast of the evening. Raise your glasses. With appreciation for our classmates, our teachers, and the friendships we formed at Crown, with affection for those who have gone before us, and with hope for the future, 50 more years. Does anybody have the answer to our riddle? Does anybody want a clue?
Clue to one. Bars to church.
The clue is the year that we graduated.
72. 7 bars, there were 2 churches.
I only went to Crown for 4 months.
Okay, gang.
And then moved.
West Dundee has 7 churches and 2 bars. East Dundee has 2 churches and 7 bars. East Dundee is a Saturday sort of town. West Dundee is a Sunday sort of town.
West Dundee has 2 bars, 7 churches.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our wonderful chairman, Monica DeBartolo Green.
Jerry, thank you so much. You can imagine I'm a little nervous. I had to call Madigan, like taking over the reunion, and then now I have to follow Jerry Majewski. God help me. So let me begin with reminding you or letting you know that not only is my short memory failing, but my short memory is failing. So I've got these little notes here, and I first want to say that it really takes a lot of different people and a lot of effort and a lot of commitment from a lot of people to make something like this happen. And I first really want to thank our sponsors. So we've had some wonderful sponsors, including the Jerome C. Majewski Law Offices, Nelson Jewelry, and the Don Smith Winery. And if I didn't pronounce that correctly, I probably have not had enough wine.
Also, at the end of the evening, you're going to go home with a really wonderful swag bag with some goodies. And for those goodies, we want to thank Stuart Glass, IMD Therapeutics, Mike Spence Flooring, Elite Laser and Skin Spa, and Hottest Hell Cosmetics Tattooing. Also, I want to thank Gary Knapp for organizing and facilitating the Village of Carpentersville proclamation of September 30th, 2022 as Irving Crown Class of 72, 50th Reunion Day. We received this proclamation last night during the halftime festivities at the homecoming game. It was really wonderful. And we have the proclamation here on our table for you to see. So I hope you take a look at it. It's really beautiful. Also, we want to thank all of you who have donated to maintaining the Class Creator website, our VIP guest dinner guests, and our class gift for the Dundee Crown High School. Last night we actually presented a $1,000 check to the Dundee Crown High School principal and athletic director. And we received it to roaring cheers from the audience. They were so appreciative. It was really an amazing experience. And we have a video here that we're going to show later to let you see exactly what we experienced last night when they learned about the class gift that we were donating. All of your names, all the donors are listed on, you can see the screens around us, and they'll also be on the Class Creator in the near future. Lastly, I need to thank our husbands and families. So on behalf of this committee, who worked for 11 months, I also want to thank our families and husbands who were sneaking around behind the Zoom cameras, who were trying to hide. Also, had to listen to us for 11 months about every detail of this reunion, and for so much more. So I really want to thank Jonathan, Craig, Jack, Robert, Al, Scott, William, and Casey. And now, I have just a couple of other people that we want to recognize. And so when I call your name, I'd like you to come up here and join Mary and I. So first of all, we want to recognize the first person that registered for this event. And that is Elise Backman-Voigt. 3 days after we launched the website for registration, Elise jumped on and registered. It gave us an opportunity to, it gave us hope that people were looking and reading, but it also gave us a chance to tweak the errors. Next, I want to recognize Al Drugi. He came all the way from Saratoga, California, 2,671 miles. He traveled the furthest to be with us today. And we know there are many classmates that married their sweethearts and their high school sweethearts. But we want to recognize one gentleman, Fred Bain. He's been married 51 years. He and Laura, actually, they married while Fred was in high school. And Fred snuck out of one of his classes to go to the high school field, to go out to the field to look for his wedding ring that he lost. I was sneaking out of class to go to McDonald's. I feel guilty. Fred, where are you? Another response that caught our attention was the number 12 on our registration list. And that is the number of grandchildren that Linda Ross Blank has. So we're thinking Linda has logged in the most babysitting time. Linda, are you here?
Yes.
Lastly, we want to recognize the last person to officially register for this reunion. It's not that he was procrastinating, but he just found out about the website and all of our contact information, and he had actually moved from Carpentersville during the 11th grade and didn't get to graduate with us. But we want to welcome Jim Beecher home. Jim, are you here? Well, now I want to formally say thank you for attending.
He's over here at the bottom.
He's at the bottom. Oh, there, Jim.
I figured out Jim the last time I saw him.
Good to see you.
I didn't know.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Dinner will be served shortly, and enjoy the rest of your evening.